Hello everyone, Rurikhan here coming at you with another TG10 video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 reasons why mobile games are killing gaming. And when I say mobile games, I do not include handheld gaming. To me, those are two very different things. Before we get started, I'd just like to mention I will be casting a rather wide net over mobile games, but I am sympathetic to the fact that there are some interesting gaming experiences to be had on iOS and Android. But for every good mobile game in existence, there's 10,000 terrible ones, 5,000 of which are attempting to emulate the gameplay of the former. 2,000 of which are attempting to juggle words to trick people into believing they are the former, and the rest of them are just plain senseless, meaningless garbage that shouldn't even exist, let alone be present on any storefront. Also, if you are a mobile gaming enthusiast, I will most likely hurt your feelings, provoke your anger, piss you off, cause you to throw objects around your house, and force you to question the poor life choices that led you to be this empty shell of a person that somehow finds this garbage entertaining. Finally, this is an opinion piece, and opinions are very much like assholes. Everybody has one, and if you don't like my opinion, that's too bad. But if that's the case, maybe you shouldn't really be looking to me to validate your choices in entertainment, because I sure as hell am not looking to you to validate mine. They're designed to be addicting, in the worst possible sense of the word. Most mobile games will not only want you to log in every day, they'll want you to log in every hour. Because it's convenient, right? I mean, you got your phone with you, why wouldn't you pull it out and check on the progress of whatever cow clicker you have draining your battery life for the sole purpose of serving you ads, or get you to buy some ridiculous 5-minute boost that will make your virtual farm grow a special cucumber you can shove up your... They're being ported. It's not enough they pollute the stores of mobile devices, now they're spreading their reach onto Steam and getting tagged as new releases despite being several years old. Where do we draw the line for these things? It was even worse before Steam's community curation system was in place, but even with the curation, it is now incredibly hard for PC gamers to look up good deals on Steam because there's a bunch of crappy mobile ports cluttering up the sub $5 tab. Gamers have a limited amount of time to play games, and if they're playing Candy Crush Saga, that's time they could be using to play something else. And if they aren't playing other video games, then they are less likely to purchase new games. After all, why should they purchase Super Smash Bros. Or Dragon Age Inquisition? They're playing Candy Crush Saga. They might as well buy some extra lives for whatever overpriced value they charge you to keep playing that piece of garbage. There's a new iPhone every year, and God knows how many Android devices. Why does this affect gaming? Because the mobile devices will always have the upper hand when compared to the traditional handhelds, since they have shorter life cycles and constant hardware revisions. And naturally, people will lean towards mobile devices because they can perform more tasks beyond playing games. And this will not only impact the handheld market, but gaming in general, because gamers have a limited supply of money. And if they're buying new phones or tablets and whatever every year, then they're less likely to purchase a console, a handheld, or a PC. And consequently, they're also going to be less likely to purchase new games. In-app purchases. You gotta love them, particularly if you hand your tablet or phone to an infant and they spend thousands of dollars on useless garbage. MMOs were actually the first to come up with microtransactions for virtual goods, but mobile games definitely picked that up and ran with it. And when I say they ran with it, I actually mean they launched themselves into another star system with how far they took in-app purchases. There's free games that sell packages of thousands of dollars for virtual goods. How does that influence gaming, you ask? In a very negative way. In case you weren't paying attention, Assassin's Creed Unity and The Crew allow you to purchase items that give you an unfair advantage over other players. Oh, that's just big bad Ubisoft. Is it now? What about Dead Space 3 with 11 pieces of Day 1 DLC and microtransactions for in-game materials? Or Kingdoms of Amalur, which sold you gear packs? Hell, I can be here all day quoting games that were negatively influenced by this feature in the mobile market. Industry professionals migrating to the mobile market. As I mentioned previously, the mobile market is expanding, and it has the upper hand when it comes to hardware specs, so naturally we have seen several studios focus a lot more on mobile platforms at the cost of console development. I mean, just look at Capcom. They actually chose to create an iOS version of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite over creating a proper Vita version. Mobile games breathe entitled gamers. This is a fact. More and more gamers who started on mobile games want instant gratification. They don't want to wait for things or even progress through a game. They want that instant gratification and they're willing to pay for it. Again, I see myself forced to bring out Unity and Dead Space 3 with their microtransaction schemes designed exclusively for this breed of gamer, so they can hop in, deck themselves out, and essentially beat these games in God mode. They are basically paying for what used to be cheats, and they're okay with it, because for a large majority of mobile games, that's how it works. Investor trends. The people actually funding video game development are currently more likely to invest in a mobile project than a AAA title. Why? Because it's cheaper, which also means there's less risk associated with it, and they can fund multiple projects as opposed to putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. AAA game development has become an extremely risky business on account of the budget required for their production, which is why you don't see a lot of companies taking chances. They stick to what works for their games because at this point, one failed title can essentially break an entire studio. Larger consumer base. Let's face it, everyone has a smartphone these days, and statistics indicate that currently the largest percentage of smartphone usage is gaming. So they have the upper hand on hardware, investors are currently more likely to invest in that market, and it has a larger install base that already spends most of their time on a smartphone gaming. Do I really need to say how this is going to affect traditional gaming? Anyway, I realize some of these points might sound somewhat doom and gloom, and maybe you just bought your console, and now you're thinking maybe you should have bought an iPhone 6 or a Nexus something. Relax, and remember what I said at the start of the video. This is just an opinion piece, and no one really knows what the future holds. Do you play games on a mobile device? What's your favorite mobile game? Be sure to leave that in the comment section so I can reply to it with rude comments and insults. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.